Welcome to this week's episode of the Rock and Roll Ghost podcast. This week we have Chef Mark Steuer from Chicago's Funkenhausen. Mark, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Better than yesterday, too.
Yeah, that's an inside joke from earlier. Well, first off, let's talk about reopening.
Yeah.
Before we get into the horribleness of the past year, let's talk reopening. How is reopening gone?
Up and down. You know, I feel lucky to be here, first of all, so everything's good. Yeah, I'm also pretty lucky in that I got a lot of my staff back. At least the core group, you know, I know I have a lot of friends trying to reopen, and finding more people right now is brutal, which is not really a problem I anticipated having. You know, I kind of thought when people were able to go back to work, they would want to go back to work. But, you know, we're looking for a couple people right now and finding that it's just people have either like switched careers or gone back to school or aren't vaccinated and aren't ready to come back. It's so, you know, we're trying to add brunch and stuff like that. And it's really hard to get there. But like I said, overall, it's good. You know, it's nice to be back. Yeah.
I can imagine that people are also hesitant if they're, not, casting any aspersions on anyone, but if they're getting unemployment and with the up and downness of the past year, they're like, well, why? Why would I even go back to 2 weeks to just start this all over again? What?
For sure. You know, and that occurs to me too. You know, it was hard to ask people to come back with so much uncertainty, you know?
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do is get people off unemployment. And then, like you said, 2 weeks later, you know, we get shut down again, and it's
right through no fault of your own, their own, anybody's. It's just the way this thing has been going. I mean, I've talked to a few chefs, and just the up and downness of it has been, especially last fall. It was like you guys thought you were humming along again, and then bam, it's like
it's almost funny. You know, I remember when like this first started to become a thing. We talked about closing, and it was like, a couple of weeks, we'll get this thing under control and come back in a couple of weeks, and everyone take a little break, and then it's a year later.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean, no matter what, it's obvious the whole world hasn't. There's been like pockets that New Zealand's been able to wall themselves off, but that's an island. I mean,
it's a small island. It's like
it's like nobody's been immune to this. So whatever anybody wants to say about any administration, granted, there are things that should have been done better, but everybody's across the world's been screwed over by this.
For sure. It's easy to blame. And like I agree with you. We could have done things a little better, but look at countries like France and Germany who I thought were doing it better. And,
they got hit too.
Yeah.
How I'm trying to figure out a way to delicately put this. How has this past year affected the financials of the restaurant? The actual. I mean, I understand that you lost a lot of potential money.
Yeah.
What we're getting at is your investors, perhaps whoever's behind you. What kind of toll did it take, and were you ever close to just saying, I can't do it? I can't hang on.
Honestly, like it took a huge toll. I mean, I'm lucky in the fact that we have a small group of investors, and about half of them are the guys that own the building here. So we've been lucky that they worked with us rent-wise.
Good.
And even the ones who aren't involved in the building have been very understanding. Kind of with where we're at, like we just started to distribute money, and then COVID hit, and now we're hanging on to every penny we have.
Yeah.
We got lucky. We got our second round of PPP money, which helped. Yeah, but it took a huge toll, and honestly, probably more emotionally than anything else. Just trying to figure out how to make it work, because shutting down was not really an option. It's like between the bank loan and what I owe to investors, it's the idea of shutting down. It like means bankruptcy, and the rest of my life being really, really difficult. So it was always just try and find ways to push and make it work. And, I didn't pay myself for a few months, and I'm paying myself less now that we're open, and it's okay. It's like I said, I feel lucky to even be here. So many people who want.
Yeah, I have to imagine some of the goodwill also came from the fact that you were as you said, you were at a point where you were starting to pay out
Yeah.
people, which is considering you opened in, I'm sorry, 18?
Yeah. Summer of 18.
I can't believe it's been 3 years and I haven't been in. I'm just sticking a needle into myself right now.
I can't believe it's been 3 years and we've opened like 5 times.
I know, but that's amazing that you were at that point. So that must have been a tremendous boost of faith.
Yeah, I think so. You know, and we've been pretty open book with everybody and letting them know that, you know, we have money in the bank, but it's not going anywhere until we kind of stabilize this, you know.
Right.
And yeah, the hardest part of reopening has really been, and I won't even know until this Friday when we go through the first month's numbers, is really like where we are at. You know, it's like we're bringing money in, and I don't think we're losing money right now. But it's really hard to say if this is even worth it. You know.
Yeah.
Because like I was hoping that we'd open, and then, you know, a month later they'd be easing back restrictions. That doesn't seem like that's going to happen as soon as I would have hoped.
No, we're still in kind of a hanky kind of period where infections are still rising despite vaccinations, and it's because people are, you know, just being freer and less cautious, and people are out more because it's spring, and they think because people are getting vaccinations that everything's cool, and
sure.
a lot of things, and it's really, now it's gotten to the point where it's on people to be mature on themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
like the human part of me, like, yeah, it sees all of that, you know, like I want this to go away more than anything. And like, so we try to do the right thing, you know, we're abiding by all the restrictions, but like the business owner part of me wants.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a constant like internal conflict with that. But you know, I think I'm at peace with it. And like, we're doing everything by the book. But yeah, trying to push it as much as we can, you know, whether that's telling tables they have an hour and a half instead of just letting them sit as long as they want, you know.
Right.
I'm very much looking forward to the weather stabilizing, because we built a pretty big patio, and that's 40 seats, which is a game changer, you know.
Yeah, being outside is better.
Oh, absolutely, you know. Yeah, we're lucky though too. Like, I know you haven't been in, but the way the restaurant's laid out, it's a really, really long room. So our dining room, we've been able to basically skip every other table. We've got like plants in between, and so but when it's full, it still feels nice, but it's safe and there's lots of space.
Yeah.
So I think people have responded well to that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now I see these things in the background there. What those look like outside heater lamps?
Yeah, those are patio heaters.
Okay. I'm like, for a second I thought there was some sort of like new kind of fangled air purifier or something.
No, we did get one of those though. Luckily, the first round of PPP covered it. We put a UV filtration system in.
Nice.
So all that's getting pumped in is clean and sanitized.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I bet that had to set you back a few.
It was forgivable, so, you know, it wasn't cheap, but
yeah. But hey, you damn well need it now.
Yeah.
And then now you got it. You don't have to worry about it. Because I know that there's all sorts of places trying to do different things. I know that I didn't read the full article in the Post, but there's a restaurant in California that's using new sort of machines for purifying and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah. You were open for carryout though?
We were doing that before winter really hit, because we were doing we have open windows that open in the front, so we could do 3 or 4 tables up there, and then we had patio. And with the patio, those tables and carryout, we were kind of squeaking by with the skeleton crew. Yeah. But once it got really cold, and like, you know, we decided we weren't going to spend a bunch of money on igloos and trying to make outside work when it's negative 20. And so I think we did about 2 weeks of just carry out delivery, and then looked at the numbers, and we were losing like 10 grand a week. You know, there's no way to float this. And even if we had we still had some PPP money in the bank, but like, to me, it didn't make sense just like throwing it away when we could save it for getting reopened. We know we can do something, you know.
What was your crew like when you were doing carry out? Well, what kind of size crew did you have?
It was me, my general manager, and then 3 other guys in the kitchen.
Okay.
So it wasn't too small, but it was, you know, honestly, that was harder than now. Like, emotionally, it was just weird. Like, this place wasn't built to be carry out delivery, you know, and like, so we're making good food, but it wasn't what we wanted to make.
Well, and let's be honest, the money you make in a restaurant is generally on the bar.
Yeah, I mean, losing that aspect was definitely, kind of a killer.
Yeah.
We were doing to-go cocktails and growlers, but it's just, I feel like the places that really did well with carry-out delivery were the places that are built for carry-out delivery.
Yeah.
Like, we had our regulars who were, came twice a week and picked up food, but it's not.
I get it.
We're not at the top of your mind when you think about getting something delivered,
Right. Yeah, you're just looking at DoorDash, yeah. Which, and then I had a whole conversation about all that delivery stuff with Philip Foss.
Yeah.
Because he kind of wrote that diatribe in Eater against it, and which, it makes sense. I mean, but there's so many things to think about when owning a restaurant nowadays.
We thought about kind of like a lot of places pivoted and kind of changed their identity to be more carry-out friendly or delivery friendly. And my partner and I talked about it at length, and we thought about doing a couple things, but in the end of the day, I kind of felt like that would be a negative in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't want to change people's perception of what we are. So then we reopen and they expect something else, and it's
exactly.
Yeah, it felt like the right thing to do is just shut the doors, give it some time, and come back as strong as we can.
Yeah. How much? So you probably for a while were you still going to the restaurant every day, or were you taking your
a couple days a week? We did some minor repairs inside that I helped with, and just trying to stay worked on costing and did some spreadsheet work, but it was kind of depressing to be here too. So I ended up taking some time off and going to see my mom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. My dad passed away in the middle of all of this, and
oh, I'm sorry to hear it. Because I was just going to ask about your dad. Because I remember when you opened Carriage House, we've had that discussion before about me being pissed off those assholes took your painting or your portrait, your photo of the backyard
too. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, man.
And it's all right, man. He had cancer pretty seriously, so it wasn't like a surprise, but it's definitely a weird time to go through that, not being able to see like friends and family and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people have lost people in the last year, and it's just been extra hard to not be able, if you're not, family.
Yeah, it was weird not having the normal support system around, So that's all right.
I was going to ask you something about so what, and then in between all the opening and everything, you got married too. How's married life?
I also got divorced last year.
Oh crap! I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. It's been a year.
Oh man, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So not my best year, but that's all right. Bouncing back.
I'm sorry for kicking you in the nuts right now.
It's all good, man. I moved past all that.
Damn. All right. Holy crap. I don't know how to recover. Well, I pray to God now that everything goes well with the restaurant. I'm going to have to come in just because I have to set the karmic code back a little bit for that double whammy there. Jeez.
It's all good.
Well, tell me about, let's get back to the restaurant. Holy shit. When you decided to reopen, did you kind of pare down the menu at all? I mean,
just a little bit. We dialed back. I think we used to have like 23, 24 items. Right now we're doing like, I think 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And we're,
is that comfortable?
Yeah. Just with the staff I have, just getting rid of 3 or 4 things makes our lives a lot easier because we're coming in every day and prepping everything. And then we're working the line, which is fine, but just making it a little bit easier. And it's a little more simplified than it used to be. Just again to make it easier on ourselves. Like we're still making food that we love, but I'm looking forward to getting another person in here so we can kind of start not like complicating shit, but
ramping it up,
having a little more fun with it and getting a little more seasonal and getting excited again instead of just like trying to make it work.
How has how has been dealing with vendors and stuff been? Has it been difficult because they took a hit too, because they went from full force to next to nothing,
Yeah,
especially the vendors you're going to use.
right. It's been okay. There's been a couple supply chain issues, mostly with wine and meat products that we've had to kind of work around. But we figured out a ways to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been accommodating too. It's just everybody has to be understanding. From the guest to us to the vendor, and it's just everyone's doing the best they can, trying to get back on their feet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Have you tried to bring anything new to the menu at all?
Not yet.
No.
I'm kind of brainstorming a menu change right now, and we're gonna probably flip 6 to 8 items, and there'll be some new stuff there.
Yeah. What were your expectations because you've been talking about this for a while. I remember back in the day you were going to do something with Mannion.
Yeah.
Back when you were working with him, and I mean, you don't have to get into any of that if you don't want to. But I mean, the next thing I know, you were opening this, and he wasn't involved. What's been the progression from your initial idea to well, I guess to now?
It's an interesting question, and well, first of all, John and I are cool. I'm still a partner at El Che. We just we learned through that process that having two chefs in the same place isn't exactly conducive to, I guess, good morale. Or it was good for him to get his space from me, and good for me to do this by myself. And so yeah, I'm still involved over there just as a partner, and my main partner here is his main partner over there as well.
Okay, right.
Daniel, yeah.
Daniel, right? Yeah, sorry. It's been a long time. The last time I think I saw you was when we were all talking with Paige and Daniel and John. We were all talking about El Che.
Yeah. It's been a minute. I'm trying to think. So your question about
the transformation from the ideas back then to when you were going to do, you and John were to working together to, I guess.
Yeah, so back then, I think it was initially going to be a lot more German focused than it, and it still is, we kind of bill ourselves as like a beer hall, but I found as we were opening this place and as the menu progressed that it's really hard for me to keep the Southern aspect of myself off the plate.
Right.
So if when you come in, you'll see instead of little bits of Southern in the German dishes, we're kind of now it's about half and half. It's a lot of German beer hall food, and then we've got a bunch of things that I love about Southern food on the menu too. And it was kind of liberating to not try to hide that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And people respond to it well once they kind of wrap their head around why we're doing German and Southern food together.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the restaurant's kind of based on on my life, and my dad was German and I grew up in Charleston, so this is the food that I grew up with, And it's,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when the menu was when I have always kept tabs on it. I noticed when the menu was changing, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
To me, it made sense.
Right. We've come a long way with this. Our servers and bartenders too, kind of not educating about me because I'm not that egotistic, but kind of giving a brief rundown of why we're doing what we're doing and where it comes from, and I think once they understand, people dig it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about a little something off the restaurant path. The past year, when you've been off, what has occupied your time? Lots of TV, video games, sorrows, and alcohol. What's been going on?
Man, it started with too much alcohol, because I didn't know what else to do. Spending a lot of time with my dog, video games a bit. I started dating someone. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
we've been spending a lot. Thank you. As time went on, kind of finding my bubble, I guess you'd say, because I was going nuts. Everybody was, being locked down in my house by myself, with just a dog and one other person. After a couple of months, I feel like I was losing my mind. So, finding that core little group of 5-6 people that I know are doing things the same way I am, and being able to see people, whether it's outside, my birthday's in December, but I took all the heat lamps from work and built a fire in the fire pit. So we had 6 guys out by the fire in the middle of December.
Nice.
Yeah, with heaters and so I guess trying to stay sane.
Yeah.
So it started with probably being a little unhealthy, drinking a little too much whiskey, and then as I realized, like as we got through it, I started trying to take care of myself a little more the last couple of months. Started exercising again and trying to stay positive instead of just dwelling on like all the shit that's going on.
Hey, if anybody deserved a a period of unwellness, I suppose I would allow you that period from last year, because it makes sense. Because I know I was going crazy, and then I'm not saying this was the cure all, but I started doing this again.
Yeah.
And sorry, I keep getting distracted because I moved in with family, and their dog is a little special, and I hear him. He's stuck, and he keeps pounding his head up against the coffee table because he's stuck.
My dog's very special too, so don't worry, I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it makes sense. I mean, as long as you're doing well now, I mean that's the main thing. It's like thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what the biggest thing I took from all this is it's my mom always says if it's not okay, it's not over yet. Yeah. So it's finding doing whatever you have to do to make sure that you're okay. And
right.
In the beginning, that was too much whiskey. Then it was exercise. I actually started doing some projects around the house too. I built a little shop in the garage, did some woodworking, and.
Oh, you got like an actual house?
Yeah, I bought a house like 5 years ago in Logan Square.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's a purchase, I can imagine.
I got in early before it blew up. So yeah, it's an old house, needs some work, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, when I lived down there, I used to live kind of near Logan.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's definitely an area. What was I gonna say? Shit, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Oh my God, I'm blanking. I was going to ask you, with your mom being in South Carolina, do you have like family down there to kind of keep an eye on her?
Yeah, she's got a sister not too far away, and my sister's down there with her.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she's okay. And I got down there, I think 5 times between my dad passing and us reopening, which is a lot of driving, but it was important, It was good.
Oh, you drove down there?
Yeah, I wasn't going to fly in the middle of all this COVID stuff.
Yeah.
So she's older, so it's. Yeah,
basically, if you're just going to the pump and the drive-throughs, and you're fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, up until like I was the last one of my sister and my parents to get vaccinated. So up until I got my second shot, we were together kind of, but separated and stuff. And
yeah, it's definitely
I still haven't done anything, honestly, since it's been over 2 weeks. It's like I'm trying. I'm gonna, maybe my first step back into reality will be stopping by, hopefully.
Please. Yeah, today is actually 2 weeks for me for my second shot. So that's weird. I don't like. I'm dying to go do something, to go to a bar and see some friends, but like I still feel weird about it too.
No, absolutely. You're gun shy, and I was gonna go see a movie, but I was like, even though you'd have to still wear a mask. I don't know. I was like freaked out by the whole thing.
For sure. Like it just seems like kind of irresponsible too. It's like I don't know.
We've all been. I mean, those of us that have followed the rules, we've all been trained.
Yeah.
To be wary of everything now. So it's like. It's not, it's not like going on spring break or anything, it's
right.
You gotta be taken seriously, because isn't the deal like, even if you have a vaccine, you can still hold the virus and stuff to pass it on. So you still got to be careful. It's like, you can't be reckless.
You can still get it. I believe it's just, you're not likely to get very sick, but you can still get it and pass it along. So it's like,
so fuck that, fuck that passing it on to other people's shit, because not everybody's gotten the damn shot. What do you think will be your first thing to do besides going to your own restaurant?
I don't know, man. If I had to take a stab in the dark, I'd probably go into Sportsman's and sitting on the patio as soon as it's done.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah.
I like that place, actually.
And just being able to be around a couple people that I haven't seen in a year. So
yeah. What places do you miss going into sit? You know, like I mean, I know you were busy working at the restaurant, but you had a couple of days, you know, a day or whatever off. What places do you miss going and sitting down and having a meal at?
Man, Buff House I miss a lot. Brian's one of my best friends. So like I've seen him a bunch over the thing, but I miss going in there for lunch and sitting at the bar and shooting the shit. Kaizen, probably where I spend way too much money.
Yeah, I love Kaizen. Yeah,
I ordered carry out from there a couple times, but it's not quite the same. You know, it's going.
No. I mean, one time I went there, I got the omakase, so it's like you can't do omakase at all.
Right. Yeah, those are probably my top two. No.
Do you miss anything else that you're hoping to get back to at some point?
Going to the gym, I miss, and I know I could, but that just seems weird to me. Like, you see people in there, like, yeah, they got masks on, but like, going to a place where like the goal is to like breathe heavily around other people seems like why would anyone do this right now? Yeah, I miss that. You know, that was part of my routine before work.
What do you got set up at home then?
I got some weights and I started running a little bit, but it's, you know, I'm a creature of routine, so like I have to, like, in order to get in my routine, I got to go to the gym. Like it's hard to get motivated at home, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, that's why so many people's ellipticals just sit there and become like a clothes hanger. Right. I know for myself that I've been thinking about, especially as I get older, because I turned 50 this year.
Oh, wow.
That I need to seriously lose weight, but I have terrible knees. In fact, I'm waiting on finding out about getting some special thing before knee surgery itself for cushioning in my knees. But I was thinking, swimming was great. And then I saw this place near me out here in the burbs, and I'm like, so I looked online one day. I'm like, because of COVID, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even when I want to finally do something, it's like, cause like even walking for me is like just
really
insane. I have just bone on bone, and I've got like these horrible tears in my legs where just standing for any length of time has just become painful. But water, I figured, you know. Yeah. But man, enough about me.
Great exercise too. I love swimming.
Well, swimming's it's an all body thing too. Yeah. So, but I need to do something on
one of these days.
Before I die. Which I hate to be morbid about, but Jesus Christ, I need to do something. Anyways, what do you, I mean, where are you at staff-wise right now? I know we're all over the place here.
No, you're good. So right now I got 4 guys in the kitchen. My GM, we got 1 full-time server and 2 part-time servers, like 1.5 bartenders, and then a couple of support staff.
What do you do with servers? Kind of have the part-times be 1 on, 1 off?
Yeah, so like during the week, so there's we're only open 5 days right now, so John's here every day, and then the other 2 kind of alternate. Same with the bar. We've actually brought back more support staff than anybody because we learned that we can do a lot with, as long as we have help, you know, running food and busing, and that frees up the servers, and my GM takes a couple tables. So like we're kind of piecemealing it, but it works, you know.
Yeah.
And it goes back to being lucky that I have like the core group back, because like they're all in it to win it with me, you know, and everyone's happy to pitch in and do whatever it takes to kind of make it work.
Yeah. How stretched out are you in terms of are you besides just being back there expediting and doing the ordering and all that stuff? I mean, what else are you working on while you're there?
We're doing everything, man. I'm busting tables. Like last night I washed dishes because my dishwasher called off. Like it's really, I don't know. It's more than ever. It's a team effort right now. You know, so I don't really feel stretched in any particular direction. It's just like, what does today bring and what do I have to do today? You know?
Yeah. You're just thankful to be back up and running, I guess. Let me ask you, the dishwasher thing reminds me of something the great Anthony Bourdain used to say. And he used to say that you lived for the times when you could just go back on a busy night and just go wash dishes. Is that something that's relaxing for you too?
I honestly don't mind it under normal times. Yesterday was a little weird because we got busy. And like I was supposed to be expoing and running food, so like I would run back and like wash a couple loads of dishes, like clean myself off, come up, grab food, take it to tables, and so it's fine, you know. Like part of what we do is like thrive on the rush of it. So like that part was kind of fun, but it's not the ideal way to run a restaurant, you know. But
No, but it's, you know, honestly, you think about it. You think about some like the smaller places like you probably went to as a kid. There weren't. It was mostly family. Like I think of all the Thai places I went to in the suburbs when I used to live up north, and it was basically the family there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the cooks weren't the family, but they were doing everything else. It's like, you know, it kind of reminds you of that. It's like, you know, all hands on deck, and you know, it's wasn't the same thing as a busy city restaurant, perhaps, but you know, still, it kind of does it give you a little bit more pride about being in the restaurant business right now, because then it's like you're really more invested now than you've ever probably been, even at the
It's definitely a source of pride, you know, both to be back and to be like, I mean, I wish we were busier or doing more numbers, but it's I'm super proud of what we've been able to accomplish with kind of a skeleton crew, and knowing that it's only going to get better from here, you know.
And it has to. We're at almost at half the population vaccinated.
Yeah,
and that's considering we were started almost at zero
right
at the beginning of the year. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I think we're going to see pretty quick, like reaching the tipping point of where the vaccine kind of begins to overtake the new cases. At least I hope so, you know.
You know, and then we still have the worry that we might need boosters and that the mutations, because the people not getting vaccinated, and
I'll get a shot every 3 weeks. I don't care, you know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I just have a couple of quick, silly questions. One, have you ever been approached to do anything like on TV, like Food Network, like Beat Bobby Flay or something like that?
Yeah, a couple times. I don't. It's
not interested.
Honestly, like now I would probably do it.
Yeah.
Just because like getting reopened and I feel like exposure is good. In the past, that was never really my thing. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of camera shy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, it'd be cool if like once, I don't know if you'd fit into it, but it'd be cool, like something like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives or something, or hell, go on. I honestly, if I were you, I would try to figure out a way once Grocery Games, that guy does, comes back, get on that thing, because that's a huge. I don't see too many Chicago folks end up on that thing. I've seen actually, I saw one person I know on there, which was mind blowing, because I was like, wow, I didn't even realize, like, you know, it was really cool. But something. I mean, it would be nice to see you. I know you said you're camera shy, but goddamn, you know, get out there, man. Take that exposure.
Yeah, like I said, I think if when it comes up again, I think I'll pursue it.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else that you could think of that you need to put out there? Anything special about anything going on, or?
I guess my big thing would be, like, if anyone's out there is listening and wants to know how they can help support restaurants, weekdays. Everyone wants to come on the weekend. You know, we all need some love during the week too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's I'll put the site on. You know, I put all links and everything on the when I post everything, but it's funkenhausen.com.
Correct.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully, I'll get in there soon, and I truly wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
You've been one of those cool people I've dealt with for a number of years now, and I really want nothing but the best for you.
I appreciate you, man. Get your ass in here soon.
I will do so.
All right, brother.
Man, you have a good day.
You too. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.